Hello everyone, how are you all doing? Sitting some Star Wars here, and I'm finally getting round to unboxing my Director Krennic figure. I've been trying to get to doing a review and unboxing and just trying to get this figure out the packaging. It's just for absolutely ages, and I've never had the opportunity to do so. And oh God, it feels so good to finally have the opportunity to bring this figure out of the packaging and display it alongside the rest of my Imperial figures. So let's have a look at the box. So here he is, Director Krennic. He's been staring at me, looking at me all this time, saying open, open, all that jazz. And I'm finally going around opening it because you can even see the dust on it. The dust has gathered on this figure because I've just been trying to open this as much. I want it open. So we've got the art on the front. Krennic's there, front and centre, and up the top we have the Star Wars logo, all that jazz. And if you've seen in my other videos, that's how much I paid for it. That is our comic book style shop chain here in the UK. It's Forbidden Planet. I know they have an international version as well, but this is where we can get all the top-notch Black Series figures from if we don't want to go online and we miss it out in Toys R Us. We go to Forbidden Planet, so obviously he was $25.99, $22.99. He is £26 in my local Asda's, i.e. that's Walmart, which is an absolute rip-off. You can get him for like £14 now online, and yeah, a lot of places have dropped the prices of Director Krennic. So, we know who Krennic is by now and what he does. That's his information on the back. Obviously, we've got the Disney logo there, and we've got 27, which is Director Krennic's number. So, now, let's finally get this figure cracked open. Okay, so let's have a look at the weapon first. This is his pistol. In Battlefront, this is overpowered as hell. I mean, it's such a great pistol when you're playing offline, but when you're playing against it online, it's a bit of an arse to face. Well, they've captured it quite well, in my opinion. You can see they got the brown stuck on there in the handle. The rest of it's painted silver. A bit of weathering or a bit of highlighting will bring this gun out quite well, because they really captured it in the detailing in this blaster really well. His revolver type weapon. I can't remember the exact mark for it, the name, but yeah, it's the pistol that has many settings on it. It would have been nice to see it more in action in Rogue One, like we do in Battlefront. Could have seen, the deadly one-shot blaster shot from it and all that. But yeah, it's a good blaster. To be fair, it's all good. Let's see. We'll find out how well it fits in his hand. Let's take one last look at it. There we go. Now we're going to have a look at the figure itself. So this is Director Krennic. So we're going to have a look at the face sculpt first. Again, it looks very much like him, and they've done a really good job on this figure. And at the time, this figure was highly sought after for many reasons. One, it's Director Krennic, and people want him for an army build, to have him as that figure in their army. And two is because obviously his cape is removable, which means you can make another Imperial officer variant out of him, which means a lot of custom makers would want to buy this guy. And he was available a lot, but unfortunately the sites had him for sale, had to re-pull him, like what happened to me when I purchased this figure through Disney, because they sent me my money back, because unfortunately Krennic wasn't available at the time. He wasn't available, and I lost out on him. And it was just a figure that was always too high in price to get. And then I saw him in Forbidden Planet. He was cheap, and so I decided to take that plunge, pick him up. But anyway, we got him, and the face sculpt is great. I think he looks really much like him. I know a lot of people have taken the head sculpt off and they repainted it completely. Bring him forward a little bit more. They repainted him completely, and it really does bring out Krennic a lot more. Makes him look like a more kind of Bandai type figure. The detailing is up, because Hasbro's figures, the detailing is there in the sculpt, but the way they put their paint applications on, it's not as great, and it doesn't bring out the figure as much more. But then when all these custom makers, you guys out there, go in and hit the figures up, then you really bring it out quite as well. I mean, I don't have the confidence really to go in there at the moment and do it. I'm trying it out at the moment with a couple of figures, but I would like to kind of repaint his head and kind of make him look more detailed than he is. But I'm absolutely happy with the head sculpt. They captured the hair well, nice weavy pattern hair design there, as you normally get on your figures. This looks like he's probably been scanned, and it's not kind of a mashed together sculpt like we had with some previous figures, especially the Force Awakens wave. He's got his normal head joint articulation movement there, nothing too extravagant. Let's have a look down the rest of the figure. We'll bring it up towards the camera a little bit. You can see he's got his rank on there as his belt. It means nothing much really. Looks like he's just wearing chef whites, to be fair. How I feel most of the time when I wear my chef whites, like an Imperial officer, sometime like that. You got your belt pouch there for his blaster. We'll see how easy that can fit in. Let's have a go. And that can go. If I'm putting it in the right way around. The cape is really annoying to put it in the way. Yeah, there we go. Right, it's in there. Metal on there. They've captured it well. There's the little line pat design which you get in the belt. You can just about make that out on the camera. That's in there as well. The skirt down here is rubber, same type of, little bit same type of material as the cape. That's just plastic. He's got his articulation down there and all that jazz. Right, let's just quickly show the cape off. Now, this is the cape, obviously designed. It is captured exactly as Director Krennic's cape looks in Rogue One. Shame it's not really a cloth cape because of this figure. It would have been nice to have him as a cloth cape, and you've got more detailing there. Kind of stitching design going on there, and he captured the crease marks well. But it's a shame it's not a cloth cape, as that would really gone well with the figures. He only comes with that blaster as an accessory. It would be nice if he comes with cloth capes instead of this rubbery one. But anyway, we can make do with this. It's got a seam split at the bottom, as you see with Krennic. I mean, it's disappointing. I mean, Krennic, the way he was sought after, you would really think Hasbro would probably whack out a cloth cape. Oh, he's falling over there in the background. But yeah, unfortunately we got this rubbery one. Now, I'm not such a fan of them. It depends on what figures they come on and if they suit them. But with Krennic, to be fair, I would have preferred a cloth cape instead of a rubbery type cape. But it fits on him well and it holds well and it's nice and sturdy. And it means it'll be easy to clean if it gets dirty. So, as you can see, the ghost stands up right there. And let's have a look at Krennic a little bit more out of the cape now. Now we can see more. So, we've got his, we've got the normal articulation, as we always expect. Hip articulation there. Leg articulation. Yeah, I like the design there and the Imperial kind of pants type trouser thing where they bulge out the side. That's good they captured that. Nice shiny boots. They're the same old material. Obviously they've been same as before, where they just cast it on, molded onto the leg joint. It doesn't look as cheap as what the Finn figure does from the Force Awakens. I mean, not Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. His disguise, which I already reviewed on my channel. Go and check that out. Where it looks a bit cheap. They've done a good paint application on here where it fits in quite well. Leg joint here on the right one is a little bit loose, but that's okay. Let's have a look at the back. The back won't be nothing special. You've got your standard Imperial kind of design on the back of the shirt. And you got three little cylinder type things on the back right of his belt that have all been painted silver. As we said, that's the back, and that is around about it. Nothing really much to say about Director Krennic. He's just, you know, just a normal figure. I mean, there's nothing really much else to say to him. He's got his plain white officer's uniform, black trousers, black boots, insignia keys. Well, so guys, this is Krennic. This is it. He can hold his gun quite well. Unfortunately, his cape does get in the way, and you have to kind of, let me just jiggle the camera down a little bit. You have to kind of have him standing in some sort of weird split type pose. So the cape and the gun can be held together, but the gun worked fine when the cape's taken off. Again, this is why it would have been nice to have a cloth cape so you can pose him freely without the restraints of a cape. So, all ends that ends well. Will I recommend this figure to anyone? Absolutely yes, for many certain amount of reasons. One, for your army builds, so you can either get him, customize him, make him into other officers, etc. And also, as I said, because you want him as that leading man for your Death Troopers and Stormtroopers and stuff like that. And also, you can do scenes kind of like this, where you can set the guys up and have a little scene sequence going on there. So as you can see, he's talking to Thrawn at the moment, and I gotta say, looking at it, we got the same kind of paint details as we do on the Thrawn figure to the Krennic, so there's not really much changed there. But hey ho, that's these two compared, and you can see if these guys came into contact in canon, and maybe in the new Rebels, then it looks like Thrawn might just be a little bit taller than Krennic. But hey ho, that's that. They're both flanked by their guards, their troops. Don't worry guys, there's no fucking little inner rebellion going on, as fucking they like to tell people. It's just them having a chat, and they're all flanked by their guards, aren't they? They've just bumped into each other in the hallway. They're saying, "Oh, do you want some nachos? Do you want some cheese on those nachos?" Nah, they fancy a curry instead. You know, that's what they're choosing. Even Vader's getting in on the Nando's curry action, McDonald's action, whatever he is, if he can even stand up. There we go. Look, Vader's getting in on it as well. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I've got Maz Kanata's interview. I was about to say interview. Review coming up next. She is next up. And then it's going to be followed by Leia and then Poe. And that will finish off the new Wave 2 of the Last Jedi Black Series waves. I've reviewed a lot more figures on my channel. Please go and check them out. I welcome all my new subscribers as well. Thank you so much for joining me and tuning into my reviews. It really means a lot, and it really keeps me happy and really drives me to keep going and doing reviews. If you guys, my subscribers, want to see me do toy hunts as well and bring them to the channel, I will do them as well. Please let me know. Other than that, anyone new, please subscribe, please follow along, please join our lovely Star Wars club. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you've got a Krennic and you think he's awesome. You can dislike it if you want. It's a free world. Apart from if you live in North Korea, which, how the hell are you watching this? I'm about to go, guys. May the Force be with you. Have a good life.